To me, the no is an acknowledgement that they got my pitch and that they read it.
No,
I love
is
no.
the second best answer.
I don't. Yeah,
absolutely.
Because no to me is maybe.
Welcome to Breaking Down Your Business, episode 312. You can find the show notes to this episode at breakingdownyourbusiness.com/312.
I'm gonna stop it there.
Yeah,
I'm gonna do it. That was the best song I've ever sung in this podcast.
Hi, Jill.
Hi, Brad.
I'm Brad from Anchor Advisors.
I'm Jill from the Founding Moms.
All right.
Yeah. Let's laugh at ourselves.
So, I got a question for you this morning, Jill.
I'm sure you do.
I think it's going to be one that you can relate to.
Uh-oh.
You know, when you're doing follow-up, you know, you've sent a proposal to someone or you're pitching somebody.
Oh, yeah.
You haven't heard back from them. And so you're doing that follow-up, which is what you should do.
Always.
Right? Good people should follow
Always
up.
and forever.
Right. You know that feeling when you feel like you're turning the corner from diligent follow-up to annoying stalker?
Ooh, I already want to fight. What are you talking about?
Well, there's a point to which I feel like I've followed up. Like, I feel like if they were going to respond, they would have responded.
I hate your kind. I hate your kind. There's no such thing as annoying stalker. If you want an answer, you need to get an answer. You keep going. You don't have to do it in an awful, ugly way.
So let me turn it around. Have you ever received follow-up from someone where you were like, enough already. I've had it.
I only have ever had that reaction if it's clearly a robot who has sent me some freaking templated follow-up where they're repeating things that I already responded to, like where I know that it's not a person.
So when someone's following up with you and you're not sure whether you want to go forward with someone or not, do you reply and say, I'm not sure? Or do you just because that's when I will tend to. Okay.
I always reply because I pitch so much. I know how painful it is. And if the person's pitched me 3 or 4 times, I'll write back and say, thanks, not interested. I often will write back and say, this isn't on brand for us. Go away. But I say it nicely. I have no problem with it because I know how hard it is.
I just delete stuff. You know, when it comes, it's not because I don't. Why?
Wait, I want to even know why you asked me this question because why? I thought you and I were on the same page about this topic.
We are kind of.
No, I thought we were, as everyone should be who's listening, diligent at follow-up. None of us are. But we should be diligent at follow-up in a way that gets us a response.
So you never have this moment where you're like, I've already sent this person 4 emails. I feel uncomfortable about sending them another email.
Of course. I feel with every follow-up, it's like, but I do it anyway. I mean, I have a slight, less so than I used to. But I have, yes.
So, but like, how much is too much? How frequent is too
much
frequent?
for me. I will always, if it's 8 or 12, okay, let's just give an example.
Yes.
Years
I need
ago,
an example here.
Stephen Colbert began to do the Colbert Report.
Right.
I became obsessed with him.
Yeah, and you wanted to be on.
I wanted to be on the show. It would not have served my population of people who are members of the Founding Moms. I didn't care.
No, nor would it have
love
served
him. I love you, Stephen. I love you. So I created a Tumblr page that gave visuals as to why I should be on the show. If you go and you Google Colbert Jill Salzman, you'll find it.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. I worked on it like overnight at 1871 in Chicago one night with the help of a stranger. Anyway, I then finally one day found his talent buyer. What's the name of the person? Booker person on the show. And I found her contact and I found her on LinkedIn. I connected on LinkedIn, sent a request. She didn't accept right away.
Of course.
I emailed her. And then I emailed her again. And then I emailed her again. And I know this might be like, well, but it's Stephen Colbert. But it's still me emailing a woman I don't know to get a response.
How many times?
Over the course of 3 years, it must have been 40 times. So I just want to say, just to cap it off, by the time Stephen was ending his show, she responded to me. She said, thank you so much, Jill. I appreciate it. The show is ending. Basically, like, we can't have you on the show, even if we wanted to now. She accepted my LinkedIn request. And to this day, because she
needed a job.
I continue to bring up his name or tag him on every interview I do.
So,
anywhere.
For 3 years, she didn't respond at all.
Correct.
For 3 years?
There was silence.
And how frequently would you email her?
Not every week. I would email maybe once every 2 or 3 months. And I think I waited that long for this particular person because he's so famous and I'm so intimidated and I love him so much.
But you
if it wasn't Stephen and it was you, Brad,
yes.
and I didn't know you,
yes.
I would probably email you once every 2 weeks to once a month.
So you do understand how that could be perceived as stalker behavior.
I'm pretty sure she was like, this chick is crazy. I don't, but here's the thing that I think maybe is the difference between us. I don't care. If it's for business and if it's something I really want, I will email forever until they... To me, the no is an acknowledgement that they got my pitch and that they read it.
No, I love is the second best answer.
I don't... Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because no to me is maybe.
Because in fact, one of my follow-ups is, if you're not interested, just say no. Like, I want to go for the no.
So then why do you feel like you get annoying if you're not getting a no?
Why do I feel like I'm annoying?
I mean, everybody does. But I'm just wondering why you specifically...
I run out of things to say that are interesting. Like my first follow-up will be, I sent you a thing. I want to know if we're moving forward. Then my second follow-up will be, hey, my calendar is filling up and I just want to get you in. And my third follow-up will be, hey, I remember how important this was for you. And I want to make sure that
I think I roll with your life is changing as we go here. So if I email you this week and I don't hear from you and I email you 2 weeks, if I've done this 10 times to you, you might be in a new place in 2 months.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm wondering if now is a good time. I think of it as a temporal thing.
See, because I eventually do, maybe you're trapped under something heavy.
You've died and you've fallen off a cliff. I think what's really happening is people internalize it as they hate me. It's about you.
Potentially.
It's like an ego, stepping on your ego. And so I think that's why people are really bad at follow-up, because they think it's about them. And I know she's really freaking busy, this talent booker. She's not thinking about me. And in fact, who am I?
I mean, one of the things that helped me turn the corner on this is I was diligently following up with someone and I sent them maybe you've gotten trapped under a rock. And she wrote me back and said, actually, I had a baby and it was a stillborn, and and I was like, oh my gosh.
She told you that?
Yeah.
Wow.
I was diligently following up,
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, that I'm
I think it's because I work with so many members of my organization. I've heard so many of those.
Right.
Just real life reasons that it's probably not me.
Right.
Yeah. Also, even at the beginning of my career, I noticed that when I would email people incessantly, because I was just young and stupid and naive, I noticed that the 8th or 10th time I'd email them, they'd write back and they would actually say to me, oh, I've seen your name around town, or I've heard of you. Yeah. And I know for a fact it's only because I emailed them and they kept hitting delete.
They saw you in the right.
So I love the name awareness to remind them.
Right.
I just have to cap all of this off by saying I'm terrible at follow-up for the most part. I am really good at it for this stuff I really, really want, but I should be doing it a lot more for a lot of smaller things.
So for those of you that are not like Jill, which I'm assuming is the majority.
Thanks. I guess.
You're unique.
No,
You're special.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Here's my formula for not ending up in that place where you're wondering whether you're a stalker or not. And that is, first of all, never email a proposal.
Ooh, why would you?
If someone wants a proposal from you, they need to get on the phone with you, and you will review it with them over the phone.
Yeah.
Right? And the reason that you're doing that is so that you don't end up in that follow-up situation. Because at the end of the proposal presentation, you say, so how do you think?
Yeah.
Is this a yes or no? And if they say, well, I don't know, I want to try to get a yes or no from them. But if there's some reason why they can't make a decision today, I say, great. When should we get back together when that has been resolved so that you can give me a yes or no, right? Mm-hmm. Let's put that on the calendar. So there's always a next meeting on the calendar so that I'm not doing follow-up.
Yeah, it's just the beginning stuff is always an enticement. It's not, here's all of my stuff. Oh, by the way, note to those of you who are messaging people on LinkedIn and saying, thanks for connecting. Can I get a coffee with you, or can you respond to me and tell me what's the number one pain point in your business right now? I want to crush your souls, and I can't. I
actually responded to a Twitter DM from someone recently, and I said, the number one pain point in my business is people asking me what the number one pain point in my business is. Stop it.
Good
yes,
for you.
I totally did.
It's
I
don't
so
understand.
obnoxious.
I get so many of those, and I'm thinking,
somebody took
what's
a
wrong
class,
with all of you?
Somebody did a course that told them that was the thing to do.
I guess so.
It's so
Who's
bizarre.
teaching that class? We need to get them on this
we need
show.
to beat them.
Yeah.
That's what we need to do.
Anyway.
So you make an appointment. Now, sometimes people will blow off that appointment.
Okay.
Right? So you have an appointment. They didn't show up for the appointment. Now you're back in the follow-up game.
Yep.
Right? I would rather follow up by phone. I would rather call.
Ooh. Yeah, we differ there.
So I call and I do not leave a voicemail.
Okay.
Because I can call. If I leave a voicemail, then I have to wait some respectable period of time before I can call them back again.
Oh, you just keep calling.
I call them every day. I'll call them every day.
What if they don't know who you are on the phone?
Good. They'll answer eventually.
Oh, I see.
Right? If I've called them for 2 weeks every day and they haven't answered, then I'll leave a voicemail, which is basically like a Hail Mary.
See, that's funny because that to me sounds like stalking. Emailing somebody incessantly, never stalking. You can get a lot of email. But calling like that, I would be like, Mom, stop. I don't do
Not that you dodge your mom's phone calls every day for a
No, I
week.
never do. Mom, I love you.
Yeah.
No.
Right.
No.
I will also send... For me, I send 3 or 4 emails before I send them the "you might be trapped under something
Yes,
heavy."
I like that. I do that too.
And
But
then
I don't end up
I have the same Hail Mary on voicemail and email is basically, so you're not responding.
Yeah.
I'm gonna close your file. If you want to re-engage on this, let me know. But for now, I'm setting this aside. And that's my
I like it.
Hail
And
Mary.
I want to point out to all of you who get lists or just blanket email lots of your contacts or ex-clients or something, and because you get very few responses, you think, oh, the rest are not interested. That's never true.
Correct.
Never, ever true. But also don't blanket.
Well,
you'll get higher response rates if you choose 10 that you really do want to work with.
So an interesting rule from the direct mail days, when you sent actual postal mail,
Yep.
is that if you send a mailing to a group of 10,000 people and you get a 2% response rate,
Yeah.
if you send that exact same mailing to that exact same 10,000 people, you'll get another 2% response rate.
Interesting.
That it's not because they hate you.
No, it's they missed it the first time.
Or they weren't interested, or their life was different,
Right.
or whatever. That if you keep on going after those
Yeah.
same people, there are still people out there.
Yeah, I
that
think the
want to
people
serve
who
you.
are better at follow-up than you are the people who know it's not about them. So it's not about you guys.
Interesting.
It's about other people being busy. Always. Always, always, always. And the one person who goes, ooh, I hate that guy, Brad, will probably write back with an all caps hard no.
Yeah, right. Which I would love to hear.
Yeah.
I'm happy
It never
with a no.
happens because no one hates you, Brad.
Right. Oh, really?
Yeah, nobody.
So speaking of people that don't hate us, we got a new review on iTunes.
We did, and we love you, G. Jones the second or 2 or LL. I don't know. Never going to know. But
Could be
hey,
II.
I'm just going to read this to you in a regular voice.
Oh.
Unless you would like an accent, I'm going to go with, so, you know those 2 friends you have who own their own businesses? The ones who are always there when you need practical advice? The ones who never, ever, ever agree with each other, yet somehow they both give you crazy good advice? You know who I'm talking about. I still don't. One likes to do everything by the book, and the other is a free spirit who likes to go with her gut. You don't have 2 friends like that? Then you need to listen to Jill and Brad every week. Seriously, subscribe now.
Really?
Yeah, it says all of that, and it kind of sounds like we made it up to promote ourselves because it's such a perfect wonder. Oh, the review title is Those 2 Business Owner Friends You Have. Or Those 2 Business Owner Friends You Have. I read it
So
wrong.
be like G. Jones, too.
G. Jones'll.
And
I'm
go to
going with else.
breakingdownyourbusiness.com/iTunes, and you can leave us a review that we'll read on the air.
And you know what? I'll do different accent next time for your review. But also tell a friend.
Give us a preview of that accent.
Tell a friend. I don't know which accent I'm going to choose, but I'm going to do this one probably next time.
Righto.
Right. We crushed it!